everyone, welcome to another Painting with Jay. As always, my name is Jay. Today I have hat hair, helmet hair, bedhead, whatever. It's all good. And so welcome back, of course, as always. So grab a brush, grab some models, grab some paints, and paint along with me. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And today I'm working on some new guys. I finished up the old guys, the old archer dudes from last week. They're all done, and my friend will be happy with them. And now I'm working on some new archer guys. Well, they're not like archers. They have crossbows instead of bows and arrows. So it'll be good. I think it's gonna be fun. So yeah, let's get started on them this week. I've just done some base coating and a varnish coat. Not much on them. So I'll get the skin done today and then work my way from there. So let's get started. I'll talk about Christmas stuff. It's perfectly sunny out, like 13 degrees right now. I can't complain. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Hey everyone. So welcome back to Painting with Jay, of course. Look at these guys. They're green because I painted the cloaks. I airbrushed them. A bit of color in them. A bit of shading. That's what matters. So today I'm going to work on the flesh areas of these guys, and I don't know, I'll just paint as I go, But I've been finishing up this is a part of a huge commission that I've been working on a long time. Basically, I'll be working on this commission for a while. And that's the agreement I have with my friend. It's not like get it done instantly, but it's easily like 75 models over the long run, and these are another 8 or 10, sorry. So after this I'll have 30 little dudes ready for him next time he comes over. And a caster, a war caster, what was his name, Thyron. So he's gonna like it, I know he will. The key is right now just get these guys done, and that way, as I said, when he comes, I can give him to him and he can get him out of here. It's good to get every model that I paint. They eventually leave my workshop, and that's awesome because then you have an empty workshop in the end, and it's just great to show you how much progress you made. Like as I said, the shelves behind me this year used to be really full, and they aren't anymore. So right now, I'm just taking some rat skin flesh. And I'm going to paint the flesh areas, which for these guys are the faces, hands, arms, so. And as I said, these guys were I showed you what they looked like last week. They were in a state of ugliness, a very, very mixed preparedness. None of them were washed ahead of time. So I had to strip them, re-wash them. And now they're looking good. They are. And by the time my friend sees them, they'll be done. And then after this, I don't know what squad I'm going to start next for them. I'm going to probably paint one more squad this year. And then in January, I will start my Necrons again, I think. Yeah. So that'll be a good plan. And I'll come back to this commission every now and then. Maybe every other month or something like that, or every third month. I'll spend a month on evil elves for War Machine. Good. One done. So yeah, it'll be good. And in the end, my friend gets a painted army out of it, and that's good. My friend Andy, he loves playing War Machine, but he doesn't like painting. He's never been a real love of painter. He's not a bad painter. Most people I find who don't like painting, they're not bad painters. They just don't want to paint. That's okay. Not everyone wants to paint. That's why commission painters are popular. And I like seeing painted models on the table. I really do, probably because I like painting. And to me, painted models just look more thematic. When you see a game. Now, obviously, I should warn you that my next battle report, I filmed a battle report this week. And my next one will be unpainted. Not my army. My army, of course, is like painted. Half of them use the wrong color scheme because I use Dark Angel Terminators in place of Imperial Fist Terminators because they're all Terminators, right? And it's just color. But I played against Dave, and it was a really good game. He brought his Skitarii, but his Skitarii are not painted. But I'm okay with that because I really want to see Skitarii in action. And you know Dave, like Dave loves to play with painted armies. He's not a frequent unpainted army player. So I figured it should be laid on him this battle report, and it'll be okay, you know. Some people are gonna get mad that they're unpainted, but still, it'll be fun. It was a good game. As I said, it was really cool seeing Skitarii in action because Skitarii are an interesting army. They don't play like really any other army, arguably, right? They don't. They have an interesting dynamic that you can buff anything at the beginning of any turn. Like you can just buff your weapon skill or ballistic skill using your different things, and you can even buff it tremendously at the cost of the other one. You know, you can buff your weapon skill and drop your ballistic skill, and vice versa. So they can become quite fun because you can like buff your ballistic skill by 3 and then just open fire on your enemy. And eventually, I would really like to get into Cult Mechanicus. Cult Mechanicus have a similar dynamic, except it's based on like the strength of their powers is based on the number of guys in their army that are currently existing. But one of their rules, like if you have 8 or more units in turn 1, if you go first, you call this one, and your entire army has, if you have 8 different squads, your entire army will have stealth and shrouded. So unless you're fighting against like Tau, who can really ignore, or like triple vindicator, it's pretty funny because in turn 1, your guys in the open have like a 3-up cover save if there's night fighting, and any cover gives a 2-up cover save, so your entire army is walking around with 2-up cover saves. That's pretty nice. You know, these guys are interesting. These crossbow dudes. Yeah. But can't wait to have them painted up and then used against me in battle reports. Just give me a second here. I realize that I might be missing some flesh areas. That's okay. So while I'm talking to you all, so what happened this week? Not a lot. Worked as normal. Worked a lot. I did start my Christmas shopping. That was good. I got a good amount of Christmas shopping done. I always try to get a good amount of Christmas shopping done, but this year it was good. I've gotten my father's gifts done. Still got to figure out my mother, so I contacted all my siblings, but they're not being very helpful. I don't really see my parents very often, so it's hard to get them gifts because I really don't know what's going on with them. For my siblings' gifts, I have so many siblings, and now we're married, and that they decided starting last year, we were just getting like a random gift and playing that game where you can choose a gift, or you can choose a random gift or you choose someone else's gift. And so this year they decided a theme has to be beginning with the same letter as our first name or middle name. And so what are these guys called? Rifleman? No, this. They're definitely House Guard Rifleman. it's cloth. Doesn't matter. So I can paint over it after. Yeah, you can definitely see a line of it. Okay. What's I saying? Yeah. So the theme this year is it has to be beginning with the first letter, and I'm like J. Hey, so what do you want to do with J? Right? I can buy them a juicer, some Jolly Ranchers, a Jolly Jumper. I don't know. Like I was like J. So I went to Canadian Tire. I was like, there's nothing really begins with J that's good. I found a juicer, and it has to be under $25. So I was like, okay, fine. I went around just looking. I fun. I love Christmas shopping. I love walking around and seeing, looking at different things and seeing and thinking hard. And I'm usually pretty good with gifts. I really do put a lot of thought into gifts, and usually I try to go for things that are more practical and useful. Like I'm not really a Swarovski crystal walrus type buying person because it'll sit on a shelf, right? I'm more of like get my wife something very practical that she'll love and that she will use every day. Like last year I bought her a Bluetooth speaker, a waterproof Bluetooth speaker, and she's used it almost, I don't know, probably 200 days since last Christmas. So that's what I like to do. Gifts that are very practical and that people actually want and they want to use. I've done the jewelry thing before as well. But my wife with jewelry, she's kind of bad with it, to be honest. She breaks it or loses it very frequently. So, and she knows this, so I'm allowed talking about it. So I was like, all right, J. So then I went to my middle name. And it begins with a C. And I was like, okay. So, yeah, I could go by the name JC. But I don't want to be known as like an NSYNC member. So J and C. And I'm like, okay, so C. Okay, what can I get with C? And then I saw the Chia Pets. And I was like, you know what? That's pretty nerdy and hilarious gift. I'm going to get a Chia Pet. So I did. It was either that or the Clapper. I was really debating on the Clapper. I thought that would be hilarious. The clap on, clap off, the Clapper. And that would have been pretty funny. But I decided with the Chia Pet. So I got a Kermit the Frog Chia Pet. And I was like, that's kind of unusual for Kermit the Frog. They should have been like Fozzie Bear. Because obviously as the fur grows, it would make Fozzie look furry. But instead it gives Kermit the Frog an afro. So that's pretty funny. So Kermit the Frog, Afro Kermit the Frog will... I just noticed this guy's missing an ear. Like his sculpt is like he's a battle wounded leader who's has an ear missing in his scary. I like it. Look at him. He looks cool. So it was Chia Pet versus the Clapper, and I went with the Chia Pet. I think that'll be funny. I think people like it. I think it's a pretty funny gift. And it's just joke gifts. Like last year, one of the siblings bought what was it called? The potty putter. Those fake golf things that you put on the toilet. Those kind of things. It was pretty funny. Yeah. Oh. My back's been unfortunately really bad lately. I haven't been sleeping right or something. So it's been hard to paint. But I've been painting. This week, I should show it. I don't know where it is. Is he here? Oh no, he's in my light box at the moment. This week's painting tutorial on the Warp, which you really should go check out the Warp, because the Warp supports my videos, and it's cool. It's a good channel. I like it. But the Warp, this week's painting tutorial on the Warp is a Metallica colored. By the way, when I say Metallica, I totally when I heard about the color scheme Metallica for Cult Mechanicus and Adeptus Mechanicus, I thought, okay, it's gotta be like metal, like, but it isn't. It's really actually like bone and red. But I really like it. So I did this week's painting tutorial as a Castellan robot in a Metallica color scheme. He was a lot of fun to paint up. Hint, hint. Eventually I will have a Metallica or AdMech or / Cult Mech army. Because I really like that army. And they're different, as I said. They're different than other armies. And I really do like that aspect. And I'm not the type of person that has 15,000 points of each army, because I get bored with an army at that point. Like, I don't need every 10 of every model. I know Mini Wargaming does that, but I don't need it. To each his own, right? Nothing wrong with that. So I just collect a bunch of different armies. I'm kind of a jack of all trades, or a J of all trades, I'm hoping to have these guys done by next week, but I probably won't. It's going to be a busy week coming up. Yeah. Look at them. Flesh tones and greens. They're almost 3-color minimum. And the sad part is, they're already probably more painted than the average army at a War Machine tournament. Yeah, so that's, holiday shopping. But I went to Walmart. Walmart's gutted. That point where people have already been there and it's just, oh my goodness, it's empty. That was kind of funny. My favorite is shopping for my nephew, because right now he's into Lego and superheroes. So it's I am easy with that stuff. I can easily, so I bought him some superhero Lego stuff. Hulkbuster in Lego form. That's pretty cool. So my friend's army, basically, blue is the color of his armor, and green is the color of his cloth. Unless they're a stealthy army, there's a couple units that have been doing browns, or a couple squads, that have been doing browns. Because these guys are primarily cloth, I just use my airbrush and painted them green, right? Save myself time. Airbrushes are awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. Every year I try to remind myself to get more into the Christmas spirit. So I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies, listening to Christmas music, and having a fun, good time. I'm really trying to enjoy it. I'm working a lot, but that's kind of what I have to do lately, right? So that's all good, and I'm not upset about it. It's been crazy weather. I hate to talk about the weather because obviously it's the kind of the lamest thing to talk about, but it's been really amazing. Today it's a high of 13 today, or 12 or 13 where I am. And that's nuts. 13 Celsius is in the 50s for Fahrenheit, for those of you, for my American friends who are in the imperial system. So that's pretty crazy. For middle December, I'm going to take my motorcycle out again today because I've been riding every day that I can because you don't get that many chances to ride in December. So now I'm going to take some Vestigore flesh and go over the flesh areas again of these guys so that they have a mid-tone, and then I'll do the shading, and then I'll figure out after that what I want to do. Probably armor or something. Because it'll be dry, by the time the shade is dry, the video will be probably done for the day, right? So. Yeah, we're at 20 minutes. I'm hoping to get these done by next week, but I might have them still working on them. So they might be just, like last week, finishing touches on them. But, that's cool. As long as I can bring up a smile, my friend will be really happy with these. I think that's what matters. I think he will. I think he's going to love them. Especially the fact that these guys were in the crappiest condition beforehand. They were not looking too good. Not looking too good at all. But now he'll come back, he'll see them again, and he can take them home, and they'll be good, in good shape. So let's talk about my last week. All right, let's see what I've done. I've done a couple live shows. I've got back into the live show thing, and I did a Q&J a couple weeks ago, and there's going to be a Q&J today. I'm going to go film it after this, for sure. Today's Friday. It'll probably be up tomorrow, is my guess, because I don't have a lot of time to edit tonight. But Q&J should be up tomorrow, and this will probably be up either tonight or tomorrow as well, so this will be up first. I've been doing live shows again, and I really do love live shows. I'm just glad I was able to get the internet strong enough. Because when I moved my office in my house, I moved upstairs away from the internet. So, and in the end, the wireless signal was not strong enough, so I just had to wire my computer from upstairs. Yeah. But I really do miss live shows, and I'm glad I'm doing them again. And I'll do another one next week. And as I said, I'm going to alternate times between late night times, and midday times, because that way different areas of the world can see my live show live, right? There are several people I talk to, my Australian friends would be like Nathan Saunders, for example. He is in Australia, so if I do a late night time, it's great for him, because that's midday for him. But viewers like Mark Hill, who live in Great Britain, or half my European viewers, they are screwed if I do a late night show, because then they have to watch it live at 4 a.m. their time, right? That's not cool. So what I'm doing is I'm going to alternate my times, so that way sometimes the people in North America, North America either way will be in okay shape, because at worst they're watching it, if they're on the West Coast and I start my live show at 3, it's noon their time, or I think noon, maybe 11 at worst. So that's not a terrible time. They might be at work. And if I started at nighttime, it's nighttime there, right? So not too bad. But it's Britain, so it's essentially Europe versus Australia, right? Because for the times, because one of them will always just mess with the other, and I want to be fair, because I am very thankful for my audience, and so I want to be fair to them and give everyone the chance to tune in and have fun. It becomes more of a Q&J, and I like that. I don't mind that. It's like a live Q&J. We talk. What I love about it is the dynamic of the group. So if I don't know the answer, someone else chimes in, or they might just add to my answer, and that's awesome. We talk about life and stuff. after this flesh tones. Maybe armor. Yeah. We'll see. I gotta figure out what parts are really not intrusive on the skin. But because the shade, we're only at like 25 minutes, so I'm definitely gonna finish up the skin next color and then shade it and then not hair. No, I shouldn't do hair because hair interferes with the skin. I've painted a lot of Retribution. I was thinking about it. I painted probably a few, like 300 or 400 points of, probably about 400 points of War Machine and Horde so far. It's not bad. It's a lot of points. What else? So I've done a couple live shows over the last couple weeks. It's been fun. I said I really like the dynamic of it, and I like interacting with people in real time. It's been fun. So definitely keep that up. I filmed a battle report, which will be up next week, with Skitarii versus Imperial Fists. It's a good game. The reason why we went Imperial Fists was we tried to choose an army that, like, my Imperial Fist lists tend to be middle ground lists. They're not too competitive, not too weak. They're just not. I definitely don't take advantage of a lot of the extreme builds. So we figured that would be a fun test for Skitarii, because Skitarii, I don't think is a top tier army, but they're very interesting, and obviously Dave was new to them, so we didn't feel that it would be, the best idea to take them out, try on like my top tier list versus their list, wouldn't be the coolest. So yeah. So we played Space Marines. It was a good game. Fun game. Really fun game. So now they have their mid-tone flesh done. They're looking better. This guy, his base is actually like a marker. It's I think a mobilized marker for 40k. So I just airbrushed it. We'll give it a second to dry, and then we'll take our Rakelin Flesh Shade and give the flesh a shade. Excuse me. Then maybe I'll do some armor. Yeah, or maybe boots. Because I just gotta choose a color that's not really touching a lot of the skin. Because knowing me, I will mess up. By the way, Red Versa, if you're out there, I challenge you. I really want to get a game in. I keep forgetting to contact him, but I really should get a game in with Red Versa sometime. /Stu. But Red Versa, if you're watching, I really want to get a game in of 1850, our Brawl in the Hall lists. So I think it'd be a really good battle report, because it'd be Imperial Knights with Imperial Fists versus Astra Militarum and Imperial Knights, right? So there will be, and his 1850 list has a Storm Sword, Shadow Sword. So there would be 7 super heavies on the table. So I think it would be a very interesting battle report of just epic explosions. My only concern is that it might be one-sided. Whoever gets the first really good kill will probably decimate the opponent, but if we play Maelstrom, it could balance it out, But it's like, if the Imperial Knights, for example, if the Shadow Sword gets lucky, because the Shadow Sword is a strength D gun, and instant kills, like you roll a 6 on that Shadow Sword hitting, if it hits and then rolls a 6, it would instantly take out whatever it was firing at. And then if it takes out a knight a turn, that's crazy, right? So Yeah, so we'll see. But I think it'd be a good game. It'd be fun to see, and I think viewers would like to see that. What do you think, viewers? Do you want to see me take on Red Versa in a epic 1850? With seven heavies, super heavies on the table. My list would have four. His list would have three. Two. His list has two knights and a shadow sword. My list has four knights. I think that'd be a good game, regardless of who wins or loses. Right? It's not important. It'd be the fun game because I would play against Stu any day of the week. Any day of the week. Same with Dave, right? Obviously, Dave's a good guy too. But Stu and I are very similar in our relaxed approach as well. Both of those aren't really hardcore. We give each other pretty much every benefit of the doubt. Like both of those are pretty chill. Like whenever we're looking at possibly cover, we just give it to each other, right? We're always like, oh, it looks like it might be close. Give it to each other. Neither of us are win at all cost players, which is so funny because we brought the two. Well, not I wouldn't even say the scariest list to Brawl in the Hall, but we brought two of the list that people were thinking were the scariest. These two guys who aren't win at all cost players. And Stu and I both tied for fourth. So I think I have to play against him and have some fun and see what would happen, right? So we got to play a Maelstrom War mission. So I challenge thee. I bet he's painting right now. Probably working on some Master Militarum stuff or something. Maybe some orcs. And all of a sudden he's going to be like, what? The video's calling me out. I see you. Stu, take your Jedi weapon. No. Can't wait for the new Star Wars. Oh my goodness, so many good trailers have been dropping lately. I'm just like, oh. Like I just watched the trailer this morning for Apocalypse. Right? The new X-Men movie. I think it's going to be good. It seems like it's a weird time frame. I think I don't know, maybe it would have made more sense to take it into the future group, not the past group, but it'll be good. I think it'll be really, I think it'll be interesting. I don't know how Wolverine's going to be in it, but maybe he won't be. Maybe just a cameo again. But I think it'll be really good. I think it looks good. I think that the first shots that we saw of Apocalypse, we were like, what the heck does he look like that? Why does he look like that? He looks silly. But I think now he looks pretty good. I think they've kind of fixed our opinions on that matter. So what should I do now? I'm just kind of examining the crossbow. I can do boots. Yeah, I'll do some gray liner and work on some stuff for their the boots and stuff and sleeves. Get another color in there. The hair will eventually be gray liner as well, but half the hair. I'm gonna do probably half. Well, it depends. I'll count how many hair dudes are there. And half of them will be black, half of them will be brown or something. But what I like to do is when I'm painting, especially for commissions, I like to intentionally, the next color I do right now is not touching the skin because I might just end up ruining it. So I always paint up, I try to paint outwards, start with the flesh. But that's looking pretty good. Yeah, I think it'll be a good color scheme. I really like the way that the Stormfall archers from last week turned out. I think they look pretty good. The reason why I'm doing so much black on these models is because I usually do as I said, the clothing green, but then it would just be one giant green mess, right? Like it would just be all green. So whenever there's a lot of cloth on the, on the capes and stuff, I intentionally bring in another color that is in his army to complement it, because then that way it's just not a giant green model, right? Actually, some colors on it. So I think an off black will be what the doctor ordered for it. Yeah, I think you're gonna look good. That'll be blue. That'll stay green. Cool. I'm gonna slowly figure out these guys as I go. That'll be brown. Cool. I think they're gonna. This will probably be a 2-week project. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe I'll get them done before next week. So that's the boots and the sleeves. I'll do the hair eventually as well. Cool. Done. Dun 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 dun. I gotta figure out what color I want to do for the crossbows as well. Do I want to do them brown? Or do I want to make them silver? So I'll look at some pictures and see. That'll be one of the later colored. Well, after I finish the flesh tones, then I'll do hair and eyes and then armor. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to get these done today during this episode, but we're getting work done. And that's, as I said, that's the point of Q and J, or not Q and J, Painting with J, is that get stuff done. Just set some time aside and paint, and then you get really surprised at the end how much you get done. We're 37 minutes in, and I know I'm probably just going to do just 3 colors of flesh tones and some boots stuff, but that's still some progress on 10 models, and then by next week, more will be done, right? So that's just 1 hour every now and again really adds up. And maybe I'll do black for the sides. Yeah, that's a good idea. It really adds up. And then all of a sudden you turn around and, as I said, like next year, I think, I'm not going to count my chickens before they've hatched maybe, but I think I'm going to finish all my models. Now I might have to buy some new ones, because I can't imagine what happens when you run out of models. You win an award. Yeah. And over the last couple weeks, I'm going to do 30 models for my friend Andy. So 30 is pretty good. 30 models. Less that he has to paint, and well, actually, yeah, by the time it comes next time, it'll be like 31 technically. And then, yeah, as I said, you turn around one day and be like, whoa. This year, I've got to do the math, but I'm very confident I've painted over 450 models. So, and these Q and J's, not Q and J's, Painting with J's. The Painting with J's have been really a catalyst for it, because I just sit down and dedicate an hour a week, and it really adds up. It really does. So, at the beginning of this year, I didn't have an Imperial Fist army. I had a pretty small Dark Angels army. I don't think I had a Necron army. Now I do. Right? I can play Imperial Fists with a few different variations. And Necrons with a couple variations. But of course I'm going to get the Decurion detachment off the ground. That's my goal. Is to get the Decurion. Because then I can actually play it in a competitive style to match a competitive army. 40 minutes. Cool. I do find that the time really flies by when you're painting with Jays. What else? Yeah, I'll talk about the year. I have a couple more painting with Jays probably before the end of the year. And I'll talk about my year in one of the future ones. Because it's been a crazy year. It's just been... It flies by. And I'm really excited for 2016. But, because, you know, next week is Star Wars. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, a lot of good movies will be happening. I really do like the new trailer for Captain America Civil War. Right? There's Star Wars coming out soon. Like, we're so spoiled these days with movies. There's so many good blockbusters being made. And George Lucas didn't have anything to do with this new Star Wars. So, Brent, if you're out there, probably no Jar Jar. And Christmas time always makes me think of gift giving. Like, I'm the type of person, I love to give gifts more than receive gifts. I really do. Most of the time. Sometimes it's hard to shop for people and stuff, but I love giving gifts. And I love giving gifts that are dead on. Like, if you give a gift that makes someone almost cry, that it's so perfect for them, that's what I love to do. And I've done it a few times in my life. Years ago when I worked for Future Shop, an electronics store, it was back in the day where certain things were just starting to come out, and I picked up that year... I got inside access to a bunch of things before they came out or before, just as they were coming out. And that year I nailed my Christmas gifts. I remember like everyone I gave a Christmas gift to was just awesome that they loved exactly what I got them. Because I really do put a lot of thought into gift giving. I really do. I don't just give gifts willy-nilly. Except for the Chia Pet. But that's just because I don't know who I'm shopping for and it's a joke gift. But it's a Kermit the Frog Chia Pet, people. That's pretty cool. So, but I do, Cool. This one particular model I've been painting on and off for a while. Like, this is just one I've done a bunch of trial colors on, and he looks pretty bad. So he's gonna get up to code. Yeah, I feel this is not the quality that I paint to, but he'll get back into good shape. Definitely. This one particular one. Good. I really should have re-airbrushed him. I'll paint his cloak. later. Get him back up to snuff. Here's another guy that I've done some tutorials on as well, and I'm gonna clean him up, get him looking good again. But it's not too hard. This one batch, this is the one group that I knew that would take me a little while because, as I said, they were in such just bad condition beforehand. But it just make it even more rewarding when they're done. And they'll be done this week or next week. And yeah. What else? I'm really listening to an indie Canadian artist lately. I don't know why I'm talking about music now, but I've just while I'm painting, I've been listening to this new artist that he's not new, but I've been listening to an artist that is new to me, named Donovan Woods. He's from Sarnia, Ontario. He's very like acousticy, but I like it. Good stuff there. So I've been listening to it while I paint. Yeah. Cool. Look at him. Next one. Who would I have left? These 4. That'll probably take me to the end of the video. What else? Oh, I saw this movie yesterday. Or today, sorry. Earlier today. I just watched it with my wife for a little bit. It's called The Ridiculous Six. It just came out on Netflix. It premiered yesterday on Netflix. And it's an Adam Sandler movie. So basically, you know it's going to be the same group of actors. And the best part about it was I was having fun just playing the game, spot all the actors. Now, everyone except for, what's his name? Colin James was pretty much in there. But it was fun spotting all the actors. You know, Steve Buscemi, Harvey Keitel, every normal actor from other than I guess Shaq. Shaq wasn't in it. But The Ridiculous Six was funny. You know, of course, Rob Schneider's in it. Who else is in it? What's his name? Old Spice guy. I'll remember his name after. So it was a pretty funny movie. It was ridiculous, just stupidly ridiculous, and it was a very Adam Sandler-ish movie. But it was pretty funny. I liked it. It was pretty funny. You know, it was a pretty. It was stupid, like really stupid humor, and but it was a pretty funny movie. So if you have time and you don't mind a dumb Adam Sandler movie, if you don't mind a dumb Adam Sandler movie, go for The Ridiculous Six. Sorry. My wife's texting me. I just gotta message her back. Otherwise she's not happy that I didn't text her back. But yeah, it was a pretty funny movie. As every person from an Adam Sandler movie is basically in it. and you just play the fun game of spotting everyone. It's just a ridiculous movie. A couple parts didn't make any sense, but it was okay. Oh, and Owen Wilson didn't make other Wilson guy. The other Wilson brother was in it. What's this? See, I'm off my names today. Maybe it's just because I have bedhead or something. But what's his name? Not Owen Wilson. It is Luke Wilson, of course. Oh, Terry Crews was the one I'm thinking of. Terry Crews. And even Danny Trejo is the bad guy in it. So that's pretty funny. Any movie has Danny Trejo, good enough for me. And in it, Adam Sandler plays a white guy who was raised by Apache, First Nations people. And he is very skilled with a knife. And I was like, I wonder how much movie was the stunt double of Adam Sandler versus Adam Sandler. Rob Schneider plays a guy who's obsessed with a burro. Of course, with Rob Schneider fashion. Terry Crews is in it. I said, just a really fun. It's just a fun movie. You don't expect Academy Award winning movies. I should do that, like give movie reviews or music reviews during my Painting with Jays. That'd be kind of fun. What do you think, people? Should I talk about movies during mine? As long as I don't give spoilers. I'm going to talk about Star Wars probably in the next couple weeks, but I will definitely not talk about anything spoilery because I would never spoil Star Wars. That's just sacred, man. You don't spoil that, Like, people... Like, apparently, like, the previous generation people, when End of Empire Strikes Back happened, a lot of people spoiled for each other the big ending of Empire, and it just, ruins the surprise. Cool. Another guy done. Maybe I'll have time. Now we're at 50 minutes. I'll start doing the best decor flashes again. The highlights. But I probably won't get it done before the end of this video. The flesh. But they're 3 colors. We already hit the 3 color minimum. 3 color minimum. Yeah. But it was pretty funny. Ridiculous 6. What else? Yeah, it's not been the most eventful week. A lot of these weeks are starting to really blur together, I find, because I just work a lot and then make videos, and that's my week. I don't... Oh, I went to some Christmas parties. That was fun. I went to a Christmas party last week, and for my work, and I'm a bit of goof, right? But I'm not. I don't drink. Not much. I drive, right? I drove my motorcycle that night, and of course, so I didn't drink. Because I'm definitely not a person who encourages drinking and driving. Definitely not. And so I didn't drink. I drove. But it was fun. I got a lot of dessert. I ate a lot of food. I just go and eat food, have a good time, talk to people. One of my coworkers, I don't know why, she started bawling. I didn't want to inquire to it, so I just tried to cheer her up. I did for a while. And then... she left, and I had to make the joke. As soon as she left, I said, who knew that alcohol makes people more emotional? That got a few laughs. Yeah, but it was fun. Good time. I was invited to another Christmas party. My work has 2 Christmas parties. But I intentionally volunteered so that, for the second one, so that the people who wanted to go, because there were more people that wanted to go than that were available, because they needed some people to work that night, right? And so by me working, I prevented some people from working. And that's why, it's the holidays. I take one for the team, because I didn't really care about going in the second one. And so... by me not going, other people can go. So we have another 5 minutes, so I might as well keep going on the flesh areas then, give a first highlight. All the flesh colors. Where's the focus right now? It's right there on my hand. And then keep going because these guys are. It's gonna be a while. 10 guys, right? Or girls as well. 10 dudes. And so my friend's lucky to have a friend like me. Like the genie in Aladdin. He brings over unpainted gross models. I give him good models. Because he's my friend, I really don't charge him very much because, as I said, I don't like to charge my friends an arm and a leg for commissions. And I don't mind. It gives me something to paint while I'm doing my painting with Jays. And in the end, it leads to better battle reports because I film battle reports with him. And nice painted models look good for battle reports. And these guys are going to kick my butt because I'm painting really good model. Like, these are guys that are really going to be the bane of my existence. I think it's hilarious. It's like in my meta right now, there's a guy who's a really good painter. He's probably way better than me, but he's a good painter. His name's Ian. And he's painting up a friend's giant, I forgot what they're called. You know the gigantic new Tau suits? Like the ones that are from Forge World and they're like 600 points. He's painted one of them, and that's what they commented. Like, you're painting something that's just going to annihilate you every game from now on. And he's like, yep. You know, something that's going to ultimately destroy us. But it's okay. Yeah. Might as well talk about a little bit of Christmas movies. My favorite Christmas movie is Scrooged, starring Bill Murray. It's by far, it's one, I grew up watching it. I love it. It's my favorite Christmas movie. It's so funny, so smart humor, and I love it. It's my favorite Christmas movie. My second favorite Christmas movie of all time is Ernest Saves Christmas. Because once again, it is just such a funny movie. Right? I love Ernest. And it's such it's actually some really clever moments in it. I love that movie. It's if I have the chance to watch that movie every Christmas, I will watch it any day. Because it is such it's such an awesome movie. I love it. So if you ever have a chance to watch Ernest Saves Christmas, watch it. It is such a funny movie. What else? What other Christmas movies? Obviously, Elf. Right? With Will Ferrell. Great Christmas movie, of course, because it's so funny. And the weird thing about that movie was, Will Ferrell, after finishing it, he was very nervous, apparently, while filming that movie. He didn't think that movie would actually succeed. And it would not only typecast him, it could possibly ruin his career. He felt that there was a good probability that his career could take a spiral downwards, actually, as a result of filming Elf. But no, it was just the opposite. And that's the thing, like, Will Ferrell has the ability to commit himself so much to a role that I think he gets the respect for that. And plus, it's such a fun movie, It is such a good, heartwarming movie as well. So there's the Christmas movies. There's another one. I forgot what it's called. I think it might have also called Elf. Or Santa. Was it called Santa Claus? I forgot what it was called. The Santa Claus was a great movie. Tim Allen. It was filmed a lot of it was filmed in where I grew up, Oakville and Toronto. And there's one more. I'm going to look it up right now. Because there's an old movie from the 80s that I really am thinking about. John Lithgow was in it and Dudley Moore. So we'll look up John Lithgow. John Lithgow. It was about an elf as well. It was a good Christmas movie. John Lithgow. Okay, so let's look it up. Because it was a movie with Dudley Moore. Let's look at his filmography. I think it was called, Elf. Santa Claus, the movie. Yep. Santa Claus, the movie. It was a great movie, too. It's actually where I got several of my funny colors from, that I say, like puce, taupe, and mauve. They're debating on a color, and they're like, what color should we use? Puce? No. How about taupe? No. Mauve? No. I think it's more of a puce. And it's where I got my, Earlier in this week, I actually recommended somebody paint up a a color using puce taupe and mauve. And people were like, what? I'm like, don't ask for suggestions when I'm being in a goofy mood. Hee hee. So, that was a good movie. Santa Claus the movie is called, from the 80s. And it's actually one of the first, it was one of the first real Christmas movies I remember watching when I was younger. I wasn't a kid, but I was younger. And it was a good movie. It's about an elf who takes, like, their magical candy canes. Basically, he creates a candy cane with their magical candy canes that they feed the reindeer to make them fly. And he gives it to people and sells them as puce pops, I believe they're called. And it makes people fly. So. It was good. So that's a good Christmas movie. I like feel-good Christmas movies. And then obviously, like, what other ones? There's obviously The Miracle on 34th Street. Both the original and the newer one. I really like the newer one with Richard Attenborough. That was a good one too. Done. And what's really cool, especially since then, is that there's an increasing, obviously with the fact that you can film anything these days in viral videos and stuff, there's been an increase in really awesome mall Santas, I find. That, like there's one this week that a mall Santa knew sign language and stuff. And it's the same thing that happened in Miracle on 34th Street, but it's in real life. And it's really cool. So I'm just going to take some quick Bestigor Flash and mix it in with my, not Bestigor, Ungor Flash, mix it in with my Bestigor Flash. It's really cool seeing these things in real life. That these people, that these Santas are really awesome. Mm-hmm. But, with each step, I get to use less and less paint, so it takes, a couple seconds with each guy. So I can easily get this step done before I end today's painting with Jay. As I said, there will definitely be a Q&J later today, filmed, so all's good. And then that'll be the week. I'm working on next week's How to Play 40K, which is the assault phase. I decided to go to the assault phase, and then I'll cover vehicles and stuff in future videos. I just really want to get the assault phase done. This guy's kind of a two-faced look. Wow. He's done. Next one. Yeah, good Christmas. I love watching holiday movies. I love watching Christmas movies way more than Halloween movies. Because, I don't know, Christmas movies are meant to usually, make you laugh, make you feel good, make you want to, put you in a good spirit, but versus Halloween movies, which are just meant to kind of scare the crap out of you. And, I don't know, like, one makes you afraid to leave a room in the dark, very different things. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm still a little bit under the weather. But I'm getting better. This is good. And then I'll clean up the areas with, like, by doing the armor and the hair. the eyes. That'll all be done before next week's episode, of course. And then, yeah, maybe I'm done, maybe not. But I'll work hard on them over the next week. Cool. Another one. Last one, then we'll call it for the day. Can't believe a little army of guys. Ooh, there's a mistake. Oops. It'll be okay. I'll clean it up. Plenty of time. That's it. So they're done, at least for the day. We got 3 color minimum so far. We're going to keep going, of course. Excellent. So let's end now. So that concludes another episode of Painting with Jay. I hope you got stuff done too. Look at these guys. They're, 3 color minimum now. They have the black areas, flesh, and green. Well on their way. 5 more colors and they'll be done. And it'll be time to start the next model. That's it. That's the thing is with these Painting with Jays is that they go by so quickly. Weeks just fly by. And in the end, yeah, stuff gets done. And that's what matters. Stuff gets done. I've gotten a lot done this year. 450 plus models. And now it's time to just start cleaning out my office soon. Just getting all the empty boxes out. And that way I can actually organize stuff and get a better picture of what I actually have left to paint. But not a lot. There's not a lot left, and that's what makes me happy. It really does. So thank you as always for painting along with me this year, and I'll keep going. As I said, I probably have... Today's the 11th, so next week's the 18th, following week is the 25th. I probably won't have something on the 25th, but I'll have the 11th, and I guess that next one would be New Year's Day. That makes sense. Yeah, New Year's Day. So, that'll be good. And then I'll talk about, the year and stuff. It'll all be good. So thank you as always for painting along with me. I hope you got stuff done. And, yeah, see you next week. It'll be a lot of fun. So, and my question to you is, come on, Red Versa. Come on, people. Tell Red Versa that you want me to have this epic battle with him. He is very submissive to peer pressure. So, yes. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this is Jay saying.